saws. These are the really good ones. They're not like the cheap ones you get at Home Depot. They're expensive too, and they're great. Say they're razor sharp. Here's your big shot. It's like a big, huge ass slingshot that you put the sandbag in, and you can catapult this thing 150 feet up into a tree. Keith Kelvis, we're walking into the Bartlett Arborist Supply open house, kind of like for lawn gear and tree equipment. This is for tree guys, this is for arborists. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm almost hesitant to even post the video, so I gotta let you know, don't even think about getting into tree stuff until you've got a mentor, until you've got proper training on safety gear and equipment, because dude, you will kill yourself, you'll end up breaking bones. Ask a tree guy. You can hurt other people, people's property, stuff like that, and it's a totally different ball game. When I got involved in this, I had a mentor, and I am still a total newbie at this. So I move very slow, very careful when I'm in trees. Don't even do it until you got a mentor and someone to coach you. One more thing. I haven't told you how many times I've called my mentor up when I was in a jackknife emergency situation. He came out and bailed my ass out of trouble, and that's William has come and bailed me out when I didn't even deserve it. And so if you don't have, just, all right, let's go inside. I got a tree set up indoors here with ropes and everything for climbing and training, practicing. I'll take you inside. I wonder if these guys are getting into the GoPro stuff yet. So you have a hand ascender for climbing. These carabiners. They're double and triple lock mechanisms, so they're not going to open up on you when you're in a tree. These ones for climbing. Got micro pulleys. All these guys here are obsessed with safety and proper techniques. I've even got blasted, kind of like you got the Lawn Pro site on Facebook. Well, there's an Arborist tree climbing Facebook page, and if you even post a picture of yourself not wearing safety gear or helmets, these guys will blast you because they're all about safety. So here's some of the ropes here. If you look here, these are expensive. We're talking like 180 bucks just for a rope. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pick up a couple things here today too. What you would call tree climbing spikes. And these are gaffs. Right here, the spikes right here. And these are probably, what, 240 bucks a pair for those ones. 350 bucks for this pair. And the more lightweight and more higher tech and ergonomic they are, is the more expensive they're going to be. Because when you're doing it all day long, it makes a big difference. I started out with just the cheap stuff, and that's still what I use now. See, extra padding. You want to talk about pain up in a tree? So like William told me, if you're doing this just for the money, you better get out quick, because this has to be something that is an art. It's something that you are obsessed with and fascinated with. It's way deeper than it looks on the outside. I mean, these ropes right here, I don't know what the tension rating is on this, but I'm guessing you could probably, I mean, easily you could pick up a 2500 HD truck with one of these and it won't even snap the rope at all. You could fall from a tree and it'll break your body before the rope will break. Here's all the different saddles you'll use when you get started. These saddles are anywhere from $100 on the cheapest end up to $400 or $500. Every single different type of, you know, loop and clasp that you would possibly need. The more expensive ones are more lightweight and more comfortable. These are your silkies. Basically handsaws. The tip broke off on one?
It came all the way out and I popped the limb by accident.
What?
And it kind of came out and hit the limb. Went blink, broke right off. I only had it for like 2 months. You gotta be careful with them. Sharp and strong, but they're hard steel. So they're hard steel, so yeah, they're brittle.
Did you want to look at it?
These handsaws are badass. The silkies are the best ones. Now you're looking at $65 for a handsaw, but it's totally worth it because they cut in both directions. So this clips on your saddle and it hangs by your side so you can grab it like a flipping pirate whenever you need it. This is your scabbard. And then you get a matching saw blade here. You know, the cheap ones start at $23, go up to all the way up to $65. And here's your sandbags and throw lines. Where you throw a sandbag up in the tree over a crotch with the throw line. It's very thin, it's waxed. And then it comes down the other side. What you do is you attach your rope to it and then you pull your rope through for ascending. Here's all your different selections of carabiners, and they're used for different purposes, for climbing. There you go, wait. Here's all the different selections of carabiners. This isn't your average carabiner that you'll get at like Home Depot for $2. These will not break. They'll hold thousands of pounds. Your body weight is nothing compared to these. Here's all your safety protection gear and helmets. Look at these pulleys, man. $261 for a pulley. See, you hang your chainsaw up the side of your saddle with this, and if you drop it, it springs and it's soft, it catches. And then you hook that on your belt. These slings work really good from creating a false crotch off a tree if you're lowering a branch. There's hand and foot ascenders.
Looks good.
I'm going to show you a a buck strap here. That's your buck strap. It goes on your saddle and you throw it around the tree so you can ascend up the tree. And it has different adjustments. Tight, close, far. Here's all your pruning saws, pole saws. These are the really good ones. They're not like the cheap ones you get at Home Depot. They're expensive too, and they're great. Say they're razor sharp. Here's your big shot. It's like a big, huge ass slingshot that you put the sandbag in, and you could catapult this thing 150 feet up into a tree. I kind of expected to see some GoPro stuff here because you got a lot of the tree guys putting on GoPros and helmets and stuff now. This is just totally cool. Nice. In the back, they got an entire warehouse packed to the brim with all tree climbing gear, equipment, and stuff like that. You're not allowed to go back there during an open house, but so much cool stuff. You could try on saddles and everything. They're giving away free food too. Giving class right now.
So if you don't, if you're still climbing on a traditional double rope system and you don't want to change everything you're doing, but you want to incorporate something that's going to make it easier, you can still use the ascenders.
You asked a question, right? Do you got anything to tend your slack on your hips now? No. So you don't have any kind of slack on it. So every time you got to stop in advance, you're not going to know if you're going up or whatever. Yes. Right. Okay.
So this is the basic double line system using a split channel with blades.
With this system, you're not going to want to let the slack tender get down. Because your slack tender will typically be sitting down in here. You're not going to want your hitch to get all the way down. Because then you're opening yourself up to potential fall, you know, for that distance if you were to come off.
It's slower, but it still works the same. I'm not even using my arms to climb.
See those foot ascenders?
That's all my arms were doing. My legs did all the work there. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's an ascender that you have on your...
I have a right foot ascender that's strapped directly to my foot, and then the Haas.
That's what I'm looking at, the Haas. Yeah.
You don't even need this. I could have done what I just did with one leg. It would have been quite a bit more work.
I think he was wanting
With two, it's easier. I'm tired of doing with one.
He's already doing one. He wants to do.
Let's check this out. See that? International Society of Arboriculture. Look that up. See these basic training DVDs, tree care industry. This is huge. Book of Knots. Look at that. Yeah. This stuff is huge. I'm just a baby in training wheels when it comes to this. See that? Yeah. Golden nuggets. So these aren't just guys cutting down trees for money. These guys are arborists, they're experts, they're lifers, they're guys that are passionate and fascinated about this industry. And like Willie, look at this. Yeah.
I used to hip thrust 6-8 feet, and then I have 12 or 14 foot of slack underneath me, which is unsafe. But then I had to deal with that slack, which is a bunch of elbow snap and motion. I got
170? Okay, I mean, that's still more than half of my body weight, you know, but, so that's pretty realistic if I'm tied in like this and leaning out against it. Maybe if I come down a little bit more, should be a little bit less now. What does it say? 150. 150, okay. So the, you know, the smaller that angle, the better for you, you know, and the tree, right? Sometimes you gotta get into those weird situations, but it's just always worth thinking about. And it doesn't mean that you can't do it. I mean, sure, if the tree will take it, your anchor point, but it's just like in the example of tree structure, you know, thinking about what's gonna happen on that limb. You know, what's the best way to use this limb? Is it to pull it this way, or is it to compress it? You know, that kind of thing. All right, good. Well, that's the nerdy stuff over. And we'll do an example here of another double crotching type of system called the Eben method or the V-rig. And instead of using the tail of your line, or instead of using another line completely, you're just using the front end, right? I guess I call it the front end of your rope. And there's some things to consider with it, like all things. Let's just put it.
So even these chippers used are like, I don't know, 15, 20 grand. I've seen them for the older ones for, you know, 12, 14 grand. But you get what I'm saying here. Now you don't need this stuff, you know, to get started. I don't even have a chipper yet. I'm trying to get my hands on one this year. But if you get a chipper, then you need a dump truck. So the barrier to entry is really, you know, expensive to get going. So it's definitely a very long-term thing.